Hey, what's up guys? J-Man here with a review of Kamen Rider Ghost, or Damashii, which is basically Ghost's base form, where he uses his own soul to transform. Yeah, this is the box. No one cares about boxes. I know I sure don't. But hey, at least it's a pretty nice box. It's really sad that that's one of the nicest things I'm gonna have to say about this figure. So, here is Ghost out of the package, and we can see his design is pretty much identical to that of the show. He has his hoodie, he has all of his lines, everything appears as it seems. The head looks really nice. Instead of compound eyes, they went with sort of an inverse effect. His chest is appropriately shiny because it is plastic and looks like it was just pulled out of the show. So, details on him are pretty decent. And if you're wondering why the arms are kind of flared out, that's as close as they get to his body. So, that's a thing. I guess why I have him here, let's just go ahead and go into articulation. Okay, so to start off, he has a couple of ball joints in the head, as always. So he has a really great range of movement. You know, he can look however he needs. And it just gets worse from here. The shoulders are on several swivels, so they're not visibly hindered, but unless you push the sleeve in and shove it down, you're not going to get too much height on his arms, and that crunches down this this bit of plastic here. So it's rather unfortunate that happens. The elbow joint is pretty good. You know, it's a double joint. Goes up about as far as it needs to. There is a tiny ball joint on the wrists, so you have a slight amount of wrist movement. Not enough to make a whole lot of difference, but at least it's there. The chest is decent. It goes back about 2 millimeters, and it moves forward about 4 millimeters. The waist helps it move back a couple extra millimeters, and helps it move forward a decent amount, so he can hunch slightly, and that's good. Moving his waist to the side, that's about all you can get, and it's mostly from the chest because for some reason the waist is fairly stuck, and it's very tight, and it makes some really terrifying noises. Moving on to the hips, it has the pull down joint, so you know he can kick as much as he wants, and that's good. You know, I want that. You know, he can kick out as much as he wants, and there's actually a tiny ball joint in the thigh swivel, so he can flare his hip out a little bit if he wants, but it's mostly just there for a swivel. The knee joint's good. It works like it needs to. And the ankles can move around 360 degrees. There's a decent amount of rocker, so he can stand not exactly flat-footed. And then you can move the foot down a little bit, and then it doesn't go up at all, so that's kind of annoying, but he does have toe articulation. Okay, and so as far as accessories go, he comes with 2 sets of hoods, one for when he is ready for action and he needs to pull it down, and another one for when he has just transformed and his hood is up. Trading them out is very easy. The turn down hood pops into a slot on his back, and the up hood pops into a hole in his head. He also comes with 3 pairs of hands, including his fists, holding things hands, and his open, calm hands. He also has his Gon blaster, I believe is what it's called. It does what it's supposed to. It transforms by pulling part of it in half and flipping it around and then squishing this. It's just a shame that there's not very many poses you can get him into where he looks good holding it. Now, as you're sitting there, I'm sure you can note the disappointment in my voice, and that is not an accident. I'm actually very disappointed with this figure. It's deceptively terrible. At first glance, you look at it and you think, oh wow, that looks great. And then you touch it and you try to move it and you realize that it just doesn't want to move with you. And also it makes this terrible rattling sound because for some reason there are some extra rings or something on the inside of the shoulders. I was able to fix that by ripping his arms off and digging them out with a knife and then plugging the shoulders back in. That's not something that I want to do with a toy when I buy it. Also, the hoodie, while it's soft rubber, it's not really soft enough. So any articulation involving his torso is limited completely. Of course, he comes with more accessories than last year's Kamen Rider Drive did, but Kamen Rider Drive has the distinct advantage of actually being a decent figure. But hey, if you get the first release bonus, you get a little Yurusen that you put on a stick, and you can pose it next to Ghost. I'm not gonna lie, I had really high hopes for this toy because I dislike the show so much that I was just hoping there would be something positive that came out of Kamen Rider Ghost. And after handling and playing with this toy, I now realize that all of my hopes and dreams are meaningless and that life is fleeting and full of nothing but heartache and disappointment. So thank you, Kamen Rider Ghost. I now envy the sweet embrace of death, happily accept my fate as I fade into the sweet abyss of nothingness.